Here we go. Grand final of the men's novice 4. UMass lane 1, Rhode Island, UNH, Bowdoin, Boston College, Connecticut, and we have a start. Once again, the crews are off cleanly. URI asserting itself, UMass hanging in there with them. Bowdoin asserting itself as well. A little bit of a fallback from Boston College. And Connecticut out here in lane 6 on our side of the lake is holding its own. Beautiful conditions here for the beginning of this race. Not a ripple on the water. And as the crews approach 250, it appears that the early leader is Bowdoin out in lane 4, with UMass in lane 1 very, very close behind, followed by URI, Boston College, Connecticut tied, and UNH in the middle of it as well. So as we get closer to the DRC, I'll give you a 400-meter send-off here before we turn it over to Fred. At the north end of the DRC dock, it's evened back up. UMass, URI, and Bowdoin almost straight across, with UNH about a half length behind. Boston College bow to stern on UNH, and Connecticut's bow on the Boston College stroke. And we'll turn it over to Fred in the ship-to-shore launch.
Men's Novice 4, grand final, the second medal race of the day, and it's dead even. 3 boats across. Lane 1, UMass. Lane 2, URI. And closest to the camera, Bowdoin in lane 4. Those crews are virtually dead even. It's just about 3/4 of a length back to UNH in lane 3. Another length back to BC in lane 5 in the gray shell and maroon shirts. And trailing the field here, closest to the camera, lane 6, is Conn College in the white shell and white shirts. Nobody's been able to stake a dominant lead so far. Lane 1, UMass. Lane 2, URI. Virtually stroke for stroke, long and strong. Bowdoin is right there. URI might be just barely a half a deck behind, but it looks like they're pulling even. They are pulling even. They're throwing in some power strokes, and URI is surging. Still not much in it, though, between Bowdoin, closest to the camera, and the black shirts. Lane 2, URI, and UMass in the maroon on the far shore, the Worcester shore. Now those 3 looks like they're going to be the gold, silver, bronze medalists, because they've got open water over the remaining 3 crews in the field. 4th right now is UNH. They're trying to hold off a hard-charging BC. BC's in 5th. Conn College trails the field. Now Bowdoin is throwing in close to about 900 meter. Looks like Bowdoin is throwing in a little bit of a push, and the URI is going with them. They've opened up about a half a boat length lead over UMass in lane 1. Coming into the 1,000, URI about a deck over Bowdoin, another deck back to UMass on the far shore. 3rd 500. Men's Novice 4 Grand Finals of the New England Rowing Championship Regatta. URI continues to push. They've got almost half a boat length now over Bowdoin. Bowdoin and UMass have been dead even for virtually the entire 1,100 meter race so far. They still have plenty of open water over the 3 crews that are trailing the field. These are your 3 medalists here, folks. URI is going for the gold right now. Lane 2, URI has close to 3/4 of a boat length over UMass on the far side, and Bowdoin on the near side. Lane 4, we're virtually dead even. It's certainly going to come down to a last 200-meter sprint to determine the silver medal. URI's not getting away, though. Bowdoin seems to be putting in a bit of a push. They're trying to get back into that leading URI crew in lane 2. UMass is not giving up either. They're hanging on to URI. But it's URI, University of Rhode Island, leading the field in the men's Novice 4 Grand Finals. 600 meters to go, over to the finish.
We can see that they're nearly into the last 500, and the two crews closest to the beach continuing to struggle with each other, looking for efficiency, looking for stamina, and hoping that they can pull it off in the last 500. It's gonna get closer, I believe. URI's rate is up. Now looks like UMass is responding, but what's happening over there in lane 4? Bowdoin making their bid as well. Great final for the men's Novice 4 here in the Grand. 3 boats clearly ahead, 3 boats trailing the field. But let's get to see who gets what color of medal. It's into the last 250 now, and this is crunch time. Lane 4, Bowdoin, as they stride to the finish line, has about 3/4 of a length now over URI, and there they are across. Second URI stroke collapses, and finally UMass. Boy, the URI stroke really took it right to the last second. Let's see if he sits up, I hope. Here comes 4th, 5th, and finally the lane 6 Connecticut College.